I know. It feels real, doesn't it? It really feels like this table is solid. I mean, it really, really. It even makes a sound. You hit the table and it makes a sound, letting you know through your sense of sight, through your sense of hearing, that this thing is real. But it isn't. It is not real. This is a dream. You're not real. I'm not real. Our existence is relative. It's kind of like money. Money is a relative concept. It only works if the parties involved agree to give it value. But if that agreement is suddenly void, then money no longer holds any value because the parties involved in the agreement took away its value. Thus, it's no longer a reality. So then it's a relative reality. And in the same way, this reality, which you come to know through your senses, sense of sight, hearing, smelling, tasting, the only thing that makes it real is because we all, the dream characters within the dream, agreed to give it value. We agreed to say, okay, this is real. And so because we all agreed collectively to call it reality, it becomes reality. But it doesn't take away the fact that it's a dream, that it's an illusion. It does not exist. It only appears to be real. Another easy way to understand this is if you've ever went to a ride that is like in the amusement park. I mean, this is an amusement park. If you ever gone to an amusement park within the amusement park and you went on those rides that are basically simulations, like a roller coaster simulation, and if it's a really well made one, you thought for a good 5 or 10 minutes that you're in a roller coaster. Didn't you? You thought you're in a roller coaster because it felt so real, it appeared so real. Your senses, the way the simulation in the amusement park works, it clearly is designed by the people who designed the ride to trick your senses into thinking this is real. You're inside a roller coaster. And like I said, I mean, if you've gone to a really good one, it appears to be real. And I think I have to cut in a little bit. So let me pause this for a sec. We are back. I had to interact with some other dream characters, and that I had to do it. Otherwise, it would have distracted me from this very, 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 very profound and life-changing and important video. So, back to the topic. If you've ever been to a simulation inside an amusement park and it resembled a certain ride, you know that the ride felt at least 99% almost every bit as real as the actual roller coaster. But if you're an acute observer, you probably deep down knew that this isn't a roller coaster. You knew you're going into this simulation. You know, no matter how much the ride tricked you, you knew that this isn't the real thing. This isn't a roller coaster per se. And what happens inside this dream that we're in, inside this simulation, is if you're an acute observer, so in other words, if you're let's say a mature soul in the time-space illusion and you've been doing this a long time, you kind of know this isn't real. You just know, right? You just know. And sometimes you just need a little reminder, something or other, a psychedelic trip. Because not everybody who takes psychedelics comes to these realizations, truthfully. But perhaps it depends on the maturity of the soul and which density the soul is vibrating at. And if you've been doing this long enough, you've been on the ride long enough, you just kind of like maybe a trip or a meditation retreat or something, and you're like, man, this isn't real. This is a dream. This is a dream. Right? And you look and you're like, man, like, come on, like, who are you kidding here? This isn't real. This is akin to the mirage being a mirage and not the actual oasis. You see? And so this is a dream, and you're a dream character. You don't exist. You do not exist. This is absolutely, ladies and gentlemen, no different than your dream last night. It is just stretched out a bit longer. A bit longer, that's all. It feels like it. I mean, if you want to know how illusory this whole thing is, how much of an illusion time is. You smoke weed, let's say not smoke, but you ingest marijuana in any form. Time slows down, doesn't it? It slows down. Take 2 grams of mushrooms, time disappears. There's no time. There's no time. Go and meditate for an hour, hum, or do some breath work with your eyes closed, and then open your eyes, and then time is entirely different. It's a whole different thing. Go play a sport that you love, that you're passionate about. Say you go play football, aka soccer, and you're so into the game, and then before you know it, 90 minutes are up. And you're like, what? I've been running for 90 minutes? But then you go on a treadmill or something, and then you're counting, and that 90 minutes feels like 180. Because, it's just different perception. The whole thing is so illusory, you see? And the whole reality, the whole dream is an illusion. So it's just stretched out. It feels like it's going on for a long time, you see? And if you lucid dream, well, these dreams can drag on and they can feel like they're going on forever. Some of your dreams, it feels like you've been there for years. If you're lucid, if you're awake in the dream. Others, it feels like, boom, it just came here and gone. Boom, gone, right? And that's just your dream life, your astral life. So even in that, certain dreams feels like you've been there forever. Other dreams, it feels for little. This is the same. It's just for most of us, it feels like it's just going on for long. 70 years, 80 years, 90 years. Wow, that's a long time. Right, long time. What is that in the grand scheme of eternity? Not even a blink of an eye. Not even a blink of an eye. So, yeah, you guys don't exist. I don't exist. I happen to be in your dream. You happen to be in mine. We somehow crossed paths in a dream. And, yeah, well, one day you'll wake up and you'll be like, whoa, holy shit, I'm dreaming. You could wake up in this one. I mean, this is what's called awakening. Or you could just wait until you die. Everybody wakes up eventually. And for a lot of people, what happens is when they wake up from the dream, so when they die, quote unquote death, whatever the hell that is, and they wake up so confused. It's akin to waking up from a dream and you're confused, like, whoa, where am I? Which dimension am I in? Oh, wow. Right? And if you're having a bad dream, you wake up all chaotic and your heart's beating and you storm out of bed like this, right? Well, for most people, what happens is because they're not prepared for death and they're been so stuck in the illusion and they think this is it. So in the moment of death is they go through this confusion and then they don't know what's going on when they wake up and they're all confused and bam, they're shot back into the dimension. And you could, if you want to learn more about this, give the Tibetan Book of the Dead a read or a listen. You could go on YouTube and listen to it. They describe the whole process and how most people go through the confusion The Tibetans were experts at death and esoteric matters, so they really delve deep into that realm. And so, but of course, this is you don't you could, I mean, this is just, I'm giving you one example. It's just a scripture. At the end of the day, you could do this yourself. You could either have an out-of-body experience and go to the astral, go to the after, what happens after. You could use psychedelics to do the same thing. That's basically what I did. So you could have the experience for yourself, which is the most powerful way for you to know this stuff, okay? So now, if this is all a dream, Saeed, who gives a shit, right? Well, it's true. I mean, who gives a shit? Because it's nothing matters, and nothing matters. Nothing matters. You're eternal. Death is an illusion. Your finitude is an illusion, so nothing matters because you're here forever. So it really, nothing matters, right? So okay, if nothing matters, who gives a shit, Saeed? And it's all a dream. You're a dream character as much as I am. Why even bother with anything, right? Why bother even get out of bed? Well, when you're inside a dream, and let's say inside the dream, you're trying to save somebody, like let's say your sister or your mother in the dream, your family, let's say, is in danger, and you're inside the dream, and you're really trying to save your family. Now, if you don't know you're dreaming, you're gonna keep trying to save your family inside the dream, correct? Correct. Now, if suddenly inside the dream, you realize that you're dreaming, would you still try and save your family? And for most of you, for me, certainly, the answer would be yeah. Even though inside the dream, like, oh wait, I'm dreaming. It doesn't matter what happens. Now, in the middle of the dream, when I realize that, but I know I want to save my family, do I just leave my family alone, knowing that I could do something to save them, or do I just go flying around saying, well, it's a dream anyway? I mean, my family, who cares, right? Right? It's like, even if I know I'm dreaming inside the dream, I'll still choose to attempt at least to save my family, knowing that I could do something inside the dream, knowing that it's a dream. And it's the same thing with this dream. You realize this is a dream. You know this is a dream. There's no mistaking it. There absolutely is no mistaking it. And if you do your meditations every day, I mean, this is just becomes common. Yeah, it's like, yeah, duh. Like, tell me something new. Like, of course, this is all a dream. If you do your daily meditations, you don't even need to go down the psychedelic route. You don't even need to. Just do your meditations every day and do them persistently, and then you'll be living, basically, you'll just be living in that sort of persistent knowledge, persistent realization that this is all a dream, that nothing matters. And then in that, you'll find yourself laughing more. You'll find yourself taking things with lightheartedness because it's a dream. But I would still try to save my family if in the middle of a dream I woke up and or not woke up, but in the middle of the dream I realize it's a dream. Well, this is the same thing. You realize it's a dream. You say, well, okay, nothing matters. It doesn't matter. We're all eternal here. We're all playing Hamlet. We're all just playing. It's a play. It's a game. It's a cosmic drama. But I'm still going to attempt to save my family. But then you're not attached to the outcome, because who gives a shit? Like, in the middle of the dream, you realize you go lucid, you're in a dream. You still try to save your family, but if you don't save them, you're gonna be like, who cares? It's a dream. I'm gonna wake up soon anyway. It's the same thing here. So we try to save the earth. We try to save, do what we can, increase the positive energy, etc. Because that's just the nature of consciousness. It's benevolent. It loves all its parts. It wants the best for itself and all the manifestations. So we'll do that anyway. But it's like, well, who cares about the outcome? Whether we save the planet or whether the planet gets destroyed. I mean, really. Honestly, it doesn't matter. Honestly. Okay, it doesn't matter. You do what you can. You do your best. You do your best with what you're given. You're given certain things, you have certain talents, certain abilities, you're in certain circumstances. Okay, you're in certain circumstances, you're in certain harmony with the way, with the Tao. And so you do what you can with that inside the dream, knowing that it all, at the end of the day, ultimately, it doesn't matter. It's all a dream. You're not even real. You don't even exist. Where did your dream from last night go? I mean, I had some. What did I dream about last night? I don't even remember anymore. It was pleasant. They were pleasant dreams. I woke up laughing even, but I don't even remember anymore. Whatever character I was experiencing in that dream, whatever other characters were being experienced in the dream, they didn't exist. They weren't real. It was just like watching a movie. The movie isn't real. I mean the storyline isn't real. It's real while you're watching it, right? You go watch any movie. It's staged. It's staged. The actors are acting. They know they're actors. It's staged. It's the same thing. Whoever the character I was playing and whatever characters I interacted with last night, I don't even remember them anymore because they're not even real. They don't exist. And so you don't exist. Your character doesn't exist. Just a character, and it's once you wake up, it's done. You'll forget it too. It'll be in the Akashic records, of course. You can access it any time, but you wouldn't want to anyway. You wouldn't want to. That's the truth, because you're eternally in the here and now, and that's the most blissful thing you can be in. Is the now, the here, the eternity, which is bliss, contentment, fulfillment. And in that state, you don't even want to. You could access memories, but you don't even give a shit. You don't even want to. Think about the most. I mean, here I am making love to my sweetheart, who I love to death. Now, when you're in the heat of it, tell me, are you thinking about what happened between you and your friend 10 years ago? No, because you're in the here and now. That's why we get addicted to these experiences, right? For most people, the only way they access the here and now is via sexual contact, right? Which is really, I mean, it goes to show you how distracted we are, because it's just one way, like, But another way, let's say you're playing your football, you're playing football, soccer, basketball, whatever, and you're in the middle of the game and you're in the zone. Again, you're in the zone. You're here now. You feel good. It's addicting, man. It's addicting. Because you could remember. You could stop in the middle of the game and be like, oh, yeah, right. I remember the time I shit my pants. I mean, you could access the memories, but you don't want to because you're so here and now. So actually, it turns out that you don't even exist. Your dream character isn't even real. Who you think you are is a total figment of your imagination. It's a total illusion. Totally. And if you're here in the now, then you're blissful. You're here. You're content. And like, you don't even want. You don't even care about the character. Really, you don't really care. You don't care. I mean, it's irrelevant. It's not real. The only thing that's real is awareness. And you're just watching a movie. You're just inside a dream. And it'll be over sooner or later. You'll wake up. Now, what do you wake up to? Another dream. The astral is just another dream. And another dream and another dream. And you're just the awareness going from one dream to the next, from one dream to the next. And so all these things become relative realities. They're all relatively real. The only truth, absolute truth, is you. You exist. Sat, Chit, Ananda. Absolute knowledge, absolute existence, absolute bliss. That's the only absolute truth. And within each dream, there are certain rules the dream works through. Okay? So there's still certain truth. Like we can say, well, the truth is that this plane of existence has laws like the law of gravity. And so you could say that's a truth, that's how the dream works, but then you could even actually transcend those rules. You could even, so they're not even laws, they're more like rules that can be broken, but they're generally speaking, they are generally speaking law, like rules. Generally speaking, they're almost laws, but they can be broken. Therefore, they're not really laws. They're rules. So you could say, well, it's truth. Gravity is truth. You could say, well, gravity is truth. But okay, but it's a truth relatively from within the dream, but it is nothing absolute. Okay, so you're living inside the paradox at the end of the day. So you could say this is real and not real. Meaning, well, we all agreed that we gave this dream value. So we all agreed to it. We agreed to partake in the dream by taking on certain physical bodies and meat suits that work according to the rules of the dream. So in a way, it's real, but only for a little bit of time. Ultimately, it isn't real. So it's both real and real and not real. Kind of like if you're driving a car, you're the car for the time that you're driving a car, but when you're done and you turn off the car, you're no longer the car. Because if you're really in the flow, in the zone, you become the car. But then you stop the car, turn off the keys, you're not the car anymore. You just leave the car. You go to another car or something else. So it's a paradox. You're living inside the paradox, but don't take it seriously, because you're gonna wake up. Either wake up now or you wake up when you die. It's up to you. So thank you to all the patrons for your continued support. I love you guys so much, my fellow beautiful dream characters. Oh, how I love you, how I admire you for supporting this dream character here. And yeah, we are all putting on quite a show. So good job, everybody. Good job, great job, good job. And you could follow the stream character at Saeed Mobayed on Instagram. And until next time, may the force be with you.